So tonight's little ramble is about Constantine. The show Constantine, actually. I'm a fan of the character from the comics. I like the comics. And the character occupies an interesting place. And this week's episode of Constantine was the most like the comic so far. That's to say that the first few episodes, it kind of was feeling its place, it was building its mythology, but it didn't feel quite like Constantine. This is not to knock the actor. Actually, I like the actor a great deal. I think he does a good job with the character. He sounds right, he looks right, he carries himself right. He's maybe, a little too cheeky, a little too cute, but overall, he does a good job. He does the role some justice, and I like him as the character. And I've said plenty of times before, one of the strengths of the pilot, and the show's kept up with it, is you could take any number of stills from the various scenes of Constantine, and it would look like something out of the comic, which is an interesting thing to do. And doesn't mean the same thing it does in, say, like Watchmen or The Flash or Arrow or something like that, which are much more four-color comic stuff. Vertigo was always a bit grittier with their comics and much more sort of, not quite realistic, but that's closer to reality, I guess, in a weirdness. As real as you can get with demons and such. But this episode was much more like the character I'm familiar with from the comics. And it raises an interesting question about characters and being good guys. Sometimes being good guys is clear-cut. Evil is bad. We will stop the evil. We're strong. We can beat it up. Superman is easy. He has it easy. He beats up the evil. He has it easy. And then there are some people who have it easy because their morals are just wired that way. To a certain extent, Wolverine has it easy because he doesn't have any qualms about killing people. He's a psychopath. He's a well-meaning and on the side of the angels psychopath, but he's a psychopath. Killing people is fine by him. Sometimes people gets to be killed. It doesn't give him quite the moral shakes that it does most heroes. But a true antihero, like John Constantine, is a different critter. John Constantine does the right thing overall in that he's trying to, save people and prevent bad things from happening, but he's not a good person. He's kind of a bad person, and he knows he's a bad person. And he doesn't understand why people keep looking to him to be a hero. And I find that a fascinating story. I find that to be an interesting take. He is not a bad person in that, he goes wandering around shooting people all day and not feeling bad about it. He's a bad person because he does bad things, maybe for the right reasons, sometimes not for the right reasons. But he's willing to make the choices that people won't. He's willing to sacrifice a friend to, accomplish a goal that may be helping people in the end. And he recognizes that makes him a bad person. Then you have the question of, does that make him a bad person? Do the means justify the end, or the ends justify the means? I don't know. Anyways, those are my brief thoughts on Constantine. I enjoyed this week's episode, and it sparked a bit of a conversation in my head. For those of you interested in the gaming side of things, I've certainly played characters that were on the side of the angels that were not good people, that have been very bad people, but were on the right side. It's hard. It's not easy. It makes you feel uncomfortable at times. It's worth trying from time to time. I worry about the people who feel like that every character they play should be that way, because it tends to suggest to me that they don't quite get it. Anyway, subscribe, like, share with all the people, and I'll talk to you later.